Today's adventure brings us to the beauty in and around Yosemite National Park. If I pan to the left, under the shadow of this mountain, you can see peeking up over the horizon, the sun is starting to rise. Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. Over the next series of days, I will be spending time with my family. My mom, my dad, and my sister. None of them have been to Yosemite before, and I share in that sentiment because this also is my first experience here. So it should be fun roaming around, seeing the sights, learning things, and probably missing a few things here and there. But we're gonna make the best of it. We're just gonna soak it in and go at a leisurely pace. But I figured I'd bring the camera along. You could say I'm inviting you to join me. Shall you? The world famous talking bear. I've heard of you. I've heard of the bear that speaks. Any words of wisdom? Any words of wisdom, bear? He's being very shy. Perhaps he has not had his coffee. There are no syllables and sounds enunciating out of his mouth. There's some sort of prodding device back here. Let's try this. Oh,
hi.
He growled.
I was born hairless, blind, only 9 inches long and weighed less than a pound at birth. My mother's milk was 5 times richer than high-quality cow's milk, so after about 90 days, I weighed almost 7 pounds and emerged from the pen for the first time.
Kind of difficult to hear him with the traffic passing by,
So we could learn to hunt, find
but he
shelter,
definitely
live in
has
the wild.
started talking quite a bit.
Check out my nose. Yours should work so well. We were known for the strong.
He asked me to check out his nose. He's almost like a ventriloquist. He doesn't even move his mouth.
Remanufactured all waste byproducts internally and recycled them over and over to the body.
Passerbyers just kind of ignore him.
Not been able to duplicate that process.
He keeps rambling on.
The California grizzly is gone now, but my relative, the American black bear, continues.
No one pays attention. No one even honks. No one gives a friendly honk to the talking bear.
Brings bears to your area now and later on because they remember where they found that food just once. Like my cousin.
See if this guy waves or honks. Come on, honk. Nope. Just an awkward stare. Oakhurst is known as the gateway to the national park. This park ranger is huge. She's bigger than the mountain peaks behind her. It's the attack of the 50-foot woman. I do like how the sun kind of protrudes through that signage. Makes for a cool shot. Check out this guy. He's just trying to find some peace. A few birds up in those trees there. I was noticing this mural that has been painted along the wall next to a pharmacy. Just shows some of the sights that can be seen in this neck of the woods. I like this quote. In every walk with nature, one receives far more than he seeks. And look to the right of it. It's a painting of a tree that you can walk through. Let me rephrase. It's a painting of a tree. It's an artistic rendering of the one you can walk through. Don't attempt it on this concrete wall because you will have a Wile E. Coyote moment. This slab of giant sequoia was cut from a 2,000-year-old tree that was toppled by a winter storm in 1979. It is a very large piece of wood. And speaking of, look to the far right. There's a very tall Statue of Liberty. Took a lot of work to chisel out from the base all the way to the top of this 25-foot Lady Liberty, holding the torch proudly. Arrived now at the Sugar Pine Railroad. Down that hill, we're going to board a train car and look at trees just like this one. I believe this is a sugar pine. That's not, well, at least I don't think that's a sugar pine, but I think that is, hence the name of the railroad. Ticket office sign, the lettering is written on a blade. See, this is the saw that cuts into the wood, and they've just turned it into the sign. From 1899 to 1931, the Madera Sugar Pine Lumber Company logged over 30,000 acres in the immediate area. While we wait to board, we can head down the hill a little bit. There's a few other buildings. There's a bookstore, and looks like down here you can even pan for some gold.
Okay, I just want to let you know, people, that y'all know about almond petunias. Well, this is a different kind of petunia. It has lots of double, it's not a single, it's got lots of different things in there.
So
see, look at that, see how pretty that is?
So is that a normal,
That's a normal one right there.
And this is a double petunia.
Yeah, double, triple, whatever. See how pretty they are?
Look at my gold.
Yeah. Oh, you have some gold in the tray?
No, in the tray I have fool's gold, iron pyrite.
Fool's gold.
But I keep fool's gold there to show people how to tell the difference.
Okay, so this is not real gold.
You can tell this is not gold, right? Because it's gray. But when it breaks into little tiny pieces, now it looks kind of goldy, right? That's when it fools people. But here's the thing, iron pyrite is a crystal, and it sparkles and twinkles. If you move your head back and forth, you can make it all sparkle and twinkle, right? Gold is a metal. Gold does not sparkle. So if you see something on the ground and you think it might be gold, move your head back and forth, and if it sparkles and twinkles, then it's not gold, it's iron pyrite, it's fool's gold. But if it gleams, then it might be gold, and you should pick it up and look at it.
This is the real deal.
That's about $300 worth of gold panned out of the Merced River.
This little vial is 300 bucks if you were to sell it on the gold market.
Maybe a little more, because it's a half ounce bottle, about half full, and the last time I looked, gold was $1,301.60 an ounce.
Some wind chimes there. It's not swaying in the breeze. Actually, before I hit record, I just kind of shifted them around so it would try to make noise, but it's not really making that much. There it goes. There it is. That's our pony. Well, it's not really a pony, it's just a figure of speech. And on the front says Locomotive Works number 10 is the icon. Whoa. Kind of scared me a little. You can see number 10 on the front there. See the water dripping and the steam protruding upward. They've cut out some logs that we're going to be sitting in. So I think you can sit, well, both are open air, either with, you know, an awning keep you from the sun, or you can sit in this cutout log. It will not translate to video very well. You can hear the ground rumbling just a little bit of just, you know, the engine moving and just kind of slightly jiggling the earth. It's a powerful piece of machinery. Special ticket, good for one round trip passage. I got my ticket. You got your ticket?
I got my ticket.
You ready to board?
I'm ready to roll.
You can even mail a letter from here. You just slide it in this, it's like an old school letter box where Dad is pushing his finger, he's displaying it, and you can see how mail used to be delivered by horseback. Not anymore. Not anymore.
Like the closest it could be.
A little crowd starting to congregate. We're just waiting patiently, and soon we'll be we'll be boarding to take our seats.
In 1899, the Madeira Sugar Mine began their operations here. In their 32-year history, they ran one of the largest and most successful lumber companies in the state. A wildfire came through this area starting August 29th of last year, burning for 2 weeks, destroying approximately 12,000 acres of forest. Named the railroad fire due to its proximity to our location, the majority of the damage was confined to the far side of the canyon, as you can see from here. Unskilled labor was paid 10 cents an hour. Skilled labor, such as carpenters and engineers, were paid 30 cents an hour. We got a pay raise last year, we make 50 cents an hour. Lumberjacks were paid by the tree. The more they cut down, the more money they made. They brought in the trees and removed the bark and cut them into a series of rough 2-foot wide by 12-foot long boards, which were then sent to a finishing mill for further refinement.
Took a little pit stop, letting everyone walk around. And while we do that, they are refilling the water tank. You can see the pipe there with the water. They're dripping down to the back.
So is that water pretty hard or it's soft?
This is pretty, oh, I just about slipped. About lost my footing. This is pretty interesting. Oh, look at the dust I kicked up. Under this root system is where the water's going. The little stage built out here, that's the back side of it. Everyone's walked down the hill to get a look at the roaring waters. Not too roaring, just a little creek, but beautiful. Some what appears to be carpenter ants. They're not red ants. I don't know, what kind of ants? What kind of ants are those? They're calling for me. They're ringing the bell. Time to get back on board. Oh my gosh. You can hear this thing creaking as it turns. I have my ticket out because now the conductor, you can see him up there, finally about a third of the way through the trek, he's starting to punch the tickets. When we turn that corner, you can hear the wood. You can hear the wood creaking and making noises. It's like just kind of convulsing with each and every turn of the railroad track.
Please. Thank you.
Thank you. First section of the trip, I opted to sit all the way in the back because there was a covering, but I figured, why not? I might as well sit on the open log area on the back end, because there are points where the sun is like blazing down on your head, but there are other sections where the trees way up there cast a good shadow and a decent amount of shade. It's all part of the experience. The very back seat, my mom, dad, and sister, I can see them back there barely. Just trying to get them to wave, but they're preoccupied getting their ticket stamped. This thing is a workhorse. We're going uphill, a very heavy grade upward. It's handling it like a champ. She blew. after disembarking and head into the Thornberry Museum. You can buy your own little sequoia and it'll eventually turn into a giant sequoia. This pine cone came off of a sugar pine tree. Look at the size of this thing. It's about probably twice the size of what a regular pine cone would be.
This was built in 1856.
And it belonged to the Thornberrys, I'm guessing, because of the name.
That's correct.
And they moved it from a different spot to here, now the train.
That's right. Yeah, it was in a different location, and so they wanted a historic building for have the museum, and so they put it here. Actually, over there where the clock is, that was where the original door was.
Okay, so where the clock was with the front door at one time. Even though they do sell a few newer items, there are some interesting things along the wall. We got this ram skull and a deer head, some oil cans, and then over in the corner a lot of old school tools and whatnot. These are not for sale, these are just for display. This is like a big hammer. Oh wow, there they are. The Thornberrys. Mr. and Mrs. sitting on the front porch, which is now the museum. And as the gentleman mentioned, that's the door behind this clock. That was the original front door. And now that they've converted it to a gift shop, the front door is on that side. What was the most fascinating part of the ride for you?
The whole ride was seeing what fire can do to a lot of trees.
There was a lot of fire damage.
A lot of fire damage to the trees. Very sad. But he did say that they would grow. In 10 years, there will be lots of new trees.
He said as long as there's a little bit of green left on a fire-damaged tree,
yeah,
it will spring back up.
That's some like that, yeah.
What was your favorite part?
Well, you know, I really enjoyed the speaker guy, the tour guide fellow, as he was explaining all the different details about the train company and where it came from, how it developed and how it ended. And it's just all fascinating. Plus the beauty of the hillsides. I mean, it's just good.
One last look near the bottom of the train. You see the fire there. It's very toasty, very warm. That's what creates the steam, or helps create the steam. Pan out and show you, give you a perspective of what I was just looking at. Fire down below and the steam above. All right, moving on. About to head down Lewis Creek Trail. There is a warning sign for mountain lions. Avoid hiking alone, and if you encounter a lion, do not run. Don't crouch down. Hold your guard, wave your arms around, and shout. Oh man. Coming into a clearing around that rock. Look down there. Oh man, that's a pretty good sized drop off. That's beautiful though. You don't want to get too close to the edge. You can lose your footing on this leaves. They're very, very slick. But this overlook is pretty magnificent. The water rustling by, stream careening down the mountain. The roaring water has gotten a little louder. The reason for that is this waterfall. So awesome. I'm standing on the edge of this rock, kind of looking down upon the beauty of it. It's a sight to behold, that's for sure. From where I just was, it's about another half-mile walk down to the bottom of this gorge, but well worth it because take a look at that. Holy cow, that is... It's impressive. I thought it looked pretty amazing from the top, but hiking down to the bottom definitely gives you a much different perspective. It's incredible. The temperature down here in the shade is nice too. You get the coolness coming off the water as it falls down the rocks. That's going to do it for today from Yosemite. Well, technically just on the outskirts of Yosemite National Park. If you're new here, please subscribe. By doing so helps keep you in the loop and up to date on future endeavors I will be going on and uploads on this channel. Also, click the notification bell. That way you can stay current on when there are new happenings. Just click the bell. I will see you guys in the next video. The vlog is over. Almost looks like that formation is smiling. See the eye and the nose indentation and the mouth right there. There is the mouth, nose indentation, and the eye socket. It's a happy rock. It's a smiley, happy rock. I'm just happy we made it back up to the top. Going down the mountain, easy. Going back up, a little more difficult.